Hello one and all, and welcome to the Gaming Pantry. Yes, we are on air, we are live as recorded, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Hello everybody, once again, my name is Retro Bear, and welcome to the latest pickups video from my sojourn to the West Coast. Blimey, I should get myself a compass and I start that again. My sojourn to the West Coast this pack weekend for another pickups video. I hope you've all been well. Thank you very much indeed for tuning in. If you are here for the first time, thank you very much indeed for popping by. Do hope you'll stick around. If you are here returning subscriber as always, thank you very much indeed for your continued support. If I had a hat, I'd take it off. As always in the Gaming Pantry, or seems to be the case nowadays anyway, we have a game of choice which I did a couple of weeks ago, I think it was. I've still got to try and work this out. There we are. Left hand, left side. This is 007 Agent Under Fire on the GameCube, which I did show previously. I'm not going to show too much of it off, but fantastic game as it is. And as I said before, those are the games which really should now be. They should be making these into films, not the other way around. There's always an argument for it, and these are great games to play, so I'm sure they make very, very good films. Right, so, yes, as you may have gathered, I have been once again on my travels. Previous pickup videos came from a trip to Wolverhampton, and this pickup video comes from the seaside town of Weston Super Mare. Now, you may ask yourself, why was I at Weston Super Mare? Well, there's a very good reason for that, and that's because that's where Mrs. Bear's mum currently resides. So it's the first time we've been down there for about 12 months. So keep an eye out next weekend, because I may be coming to a dilapidated shopping centre near you for my weekly pickups. I'll go to a fair few dilapidated shopping centres, I have you care to know, regardless of whether they're in Weston Super Mare, Wolverhampton, or I don't know, the Outer Hebrides. So yes, it's been about a year since we've been down there. The last time I went down there, and some of you may or may not remember, I picked up in the little town close to Weston Super Mare some of the more rarer to pick up Xbox 360 football manager games, like LMA Manager 2007, Football Manager 2008 I think it was. So those are the sort of games that I've picked up from there. I didn't go to this town centre, we actually went into Weston itself, and actually it was, I'd make it, wasn't too bad for mid-October, which, let's be honest with you, is not the right time to go to the seaside, is it? That's obviously by the by, it's you associate the seaside with sun, sea, sand, and things associated with that, sand in your pants. But no, this time it was cool, crisp, but relatively pleasant. It wasn't cold, the sun was out, it didn't rain, and it was alright for walking around in. Not an awful lot there, I will be honest with you. Cash Generator, CEX, there was an independent game shop which I'll get to as we go through the pickups, and some charity shops dotted around. Sufficient for a town centre, I suppose, really. Nothing different from where I've seen anything previously. And it was, generally speaking, alright. I think when you see what I've got, you wouldn't sort of make a special journey. I wouldn't drive 100 miles from where I am to go down there every week. That would be really silly, wouldn't it? That would be exceptionally silly. It's bad enough when you go sort of like a 16-mile round trip to Wolverhampton like I did. Anyway, so, what have we got? Well, not a lot. A couple of things I missed out on, which I'll get to as well. More importantly here, there's an Xbox game, an Xbox 360 game, and the rest is Wii. Now, as those of you who may have noticed in my last video, I'm sort of trying to focus a bit more of my attention on the Wii at the moment, because this giant pile behind me is not getting any bigger. It has in the last couple of weeks, I've added quite a few games to it, but most importantly, this is where I sort of need to be pushing now, because the space for a lot of other stuff is not there. And as much as I enjoy collecting for the Xbox and the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 2 and indeed the PlayStation 1, to be honest with you, a lot of them, it's space, it's space. And I have space for the Wii at the moment. I've got a bit of space for the PlayStation 3, but really everything else it's sort of crammed up, so I'm not going to stop picking those games up, don't get me wrong. I don't want you to sort of think, oh, he's not going to pick anything else apart from the Wii. I don't like Wii games, they're all rubbish. Popular misconception. Not all of them are rubbish. A lot of them are, but not all of them are. But this is my obsession, you know. Other people who collect, you know, for specific machines. This is where I've sort of thrown my hat into the ring, and as a result of it, I can't get my hat back out because they won't let me have it back. Which is not very nice. I've got lots of hats as well. Anyway, hat-related stuff moving on. Let's move on to the pickups. I'll do Xbox first because only one of them. Relatively easy to do. Now this is a game which I've seen in shocking condition. Oh god, where have I seen it? Everywhere. Every copy I've seen of this game, there's been something wrong with it. Plastic coming off the front of it, the box has been cracked, the manual's not there, someone looks like they wiped their arse with it. You know, it's just stuff that makes you sort of think, I'm not going to buy that. And it's not exactly an expensive game either. This game is, to coin a phrase, cheap as chips. In fact, it's a lot cheaper than chips, especially around here. And, you know, I do look like somebody who eats a lot of chips. But this is Reckless, the Yakuza missions, which is on the original Xbox. And this game will set you back the grand total of about 75p at the moment. You can see the number of owners has been written on the manual prior to me, 1475. Oh, 25, sorry, 1425. That's the back of the box if you haven't got this game. Well, it's so cheap, but I've never found a copy which is actually as good a condition as this. It's, apart from there, you've got a bit of a sticker residue where someone's put a price label on it, which will come off. I'm pretty sure it will. But yeah, I mean, it's not a hard to find game. It's just in shocking condition whenever you find it. So, yeah, 75p that one. You can see I'm still working my way through my birthday money, but I'm still not spending an awful lot. I'm holding it back. Again, previous video, you just sort of sitting there. I did sort of buy fewer games and spent a bit more money, but I'm still not throwing it around. You know, that 120 quid, I want that to last me a little bit and get some good stuff for it. So this one I was very pleased with. This is my only 360 game this week, so I know two of you are going to check out straight after seeing this one. And yeah, it's a game I have on the PlayStation 3. But it was such a nice condition copy that I couldn't ignore this one. Now, I picked this up from, there's only one, as far as I'm aware, independent game shop in the centre of Weston. I can't remember the name of it. If I remember, I'll stick it in, it'll sort of appear now and make me look really stupid sort of across the, over there. It'll sort of pop up all from the side and you'll know what it is. But I've been in there quite a few times over these. I've never bought anything to my memory. And they used to have this wonderful front of the shop was great. And then as you walked into the shop on the right hand side, you'd sort of go through a little door and all the retro gaming stuff was in there. I'll put this down because I'm going to ramble. Bear with me. And it was, you know, great stuff in there. And he got stuff in, and I sort of walk around. I'd say to Mrs. Bear, I'd say, "Oh, I've got one of them. I've got one of them. I've got one of them." And it was like things like Game Boy printer in a box, $39.99. I've got one of those, and all those sort of things. But you made a mistake of sort of putting that stuff in the window, so it was sort of in direct sunlight. I sort of looked at some of these boxes were sort of fading badly, and I thought, ugh. But I haven't been there for 12 months. He's now moved everything around his shop. Now again, he does all the sort of things that you would expect, sort of like an independent game shop or a sort of a cult sort of thing that cult following, like the Funko Pops and all the horror memorabilia and things like that, and the figures and the board games. Basically loads of things in there. Pricing wise, he's always been on the expensive side, and again I do find this with independents quite a bit, is they do tend to price their stuff a bit more than say CEX or whatever. You expect them to do that because they're a business, they're looking to make a profit. They're not a big conglomerate like, you know, CEX or cash converters and generators are. They're obviously trying to make something out of it, but they had a tremendous selection of stuff. If you're ever in that part of the world, pop in. I said I'll remember what the place is called, and I'll stick it there. Obviously I'm not taking any residuals from this because I can't remember the name of the bloody place. But yes, right the way going, what the retro, he's got boxed and loose cartridges, NES, Master System, Mega Drive, Super Nintendo, N64, and then you got all the disc related stuff. You've got a couple of you got Jaguar, but I looked at the price of some of the stuff and it was just like a bit a bit too pricey. I felt boxed N64, 99 quid. I think that was a bit over the top. Copy of Super Star Wars on the Super Nintendo, boxed, not mint. I don't like that word, but it wasn't the greatest copy in the world. I think he was trying to sell that for 60 quid. I think that's a bit much as well. But there was some sort of competitively priced. You wouldn't walk in there and sort of say this is drastically overpriced. It's like competitively priced. I think if I'd spent a bit more time in there, and time constraints, unfortunately, I wasn't able to spend as much time as I would like in there. But I was with Mrs. Bear, and obviously she can tolerate what she calls box shopping to a certain point. She's always very supportive, and she was pointing things out to me, and but obviously just didn't have the right amount of time in there to spend too long in it. So some very interesting stuff in there. There were some things I was interested in, but I thought, nah, some mass system stuff which didn't have the manuals with them, which I think had they had been in better condition, had the manuals been complete, I probably would have picked a few of them up, but I didn't. So all I got was this, which is going to say, oh, waste of time going, wasn't it? But I was quite pleased, actually. It's a really, really nice, clean example copy. If you have made a cup of tea, by the way, I've finished my story, so I'm back. And this is Aliens vs Predator on the 360. And as you will notice, it's a steelbook with a plastic slipcase. Not quite as good as the cardboard ones. But this is absolutely lovely. I say lovely, there's a bit of sticker residue which runs down the side there, which I'm going to try and get off. But in terms of I'll show you the back as well. In terms of this steelbook, there's no dents, there's no rust, there's no chips out of it. Show you the inside. Lovely artwork on the inside. The disc is there as it should be. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Oops. Oh, dropped that on the floor. The manual's here, and also the download code as well. Now, for the eagle-eyed amongst you, get your language books out. It's in Italian. Yes. And there's no excuse really, because you may again not be able to see this, but the back of the slipcase is also in Italian, which is really annoying. But I'm absolutely not bothered about that in the slightest. But I think it even says at the top here at the back, doesn't it? Yeah. So you can just see it on the top there as well. So every indication there that it's Italian, and I've missed it. But it will go great with my Dutch copy of Red Dead Redemption. You can see I'm doing my bit for the European Union by buying all these European copies. But I think you'll agree, okay, it's Italian, but I haven't played it yet, so I've got no idea if the actual game is in the Italian language, because that could be really interesting. But it is such a nice example of it. Really is a good quality copy, and I think for that price, even though it's in Italian and I don't speak Italian, it was worth doing it. $1.99 that cost me. Now CEX price £2, so I've not saved a lot of money by buying it from the independent, but would I have got such a nice copy out of CEX? No, I don't think so. That is about as clean and as unblemished a steelbook as you will see, in my opinion. So yes, I was very thrilled to pick that up. So that was the non-Wii stuff this week. Now, oh yes, I've messed all these up. I'm just going to have a quick, pardon the expression, have a quick fiddle. So I'm suffering from the remnants of a chest infection, which appears to have. I remember I had a cold. I had a cold a few weeks ago. Was it late August, early September? It was around the time of Claire's birthday, I think. So early September, because she had it for about 3 weeks after I did, and I'd had it for about 10 days. And was it Monday? No, last Monday I think it was. That was it. Yeah, it was week after my birthday, week commencing the 14th of October. I started sort of feeling a bit Monday night on sort of being a sore throat, and then sort of by the next day that had sort of turned into a chest cough, which is still lingering, and sort of split its way. I had a cold for a couple of days, and now it's sort of gone into here, so my hearing's a bit truncated at the moment. I'm sort of half deaf in this ear and not quite fully working in that one. So if I appear to be shouting, that's because what it is. Right, so wee stuff. So I went into CEX in Weston Super Mare. Now, interesting story. A couple of interesting stories. I'd had a bit of a search online, which I sometimes do, but not all the time, as to what sort of stuff they got. And I didn't bother checking the basics, but I picked. I thought, well, I'll see what retro stuff they've got in, because some of the stores still carry the retro stuff, nowhere near as much as they used to, and I think in all honesty, they're trying to move on from that, because I think they dropped a lot of money buying a lot of stuff in, and they seem to get stuck with it, or they just whittle their stock down to nothing now, and they're only going to take, I think, select certain things. That's why they're offering such crap prices for them. But I noticed they got 2 cartridges. I was very interested, both loose, and the first one was Batman on the Mega Drive, because if you remember a few weeks ago I picked up Batman on the NES, and I thought, great. So I thought, well, I don't get many Mega Drive games, but I thought I'll go and pick that one up. So I got there and sort of went to the window, and there's the cartridge. And first of all, Stu would be really disappointed with it, because the cartridge was the wrong way around. Okay, it only counts if you'd got it in the box, but it was the wrong way around. But secondly, it was in direct bloody sunlight, and I thought, well, that's going to do it the world. How long's it been sat there? Day, week, month, year? I mean, I know it's not exactly been wall-to-wall sunshine, but cartridge in direct sunlight. And I was like, well, that put me right off for a start. Also, the fact it looked a bit faded as well, so it wasn't quite what I thought it was going to be. And it was £6, which is a lot of, for a lot of money. It's a bit more than I like to spend. If I'm going to treat myself something, I want to buy something that's in good condition. Say, earlier in the year I bought myself a very, very nice box copy of Buster Butts Loose on the Super Nintendo. So I don't have many Super Nintendo box games, and that was a really nice copy. So I thought, well, I'm not going to buy that. Then I went and I noticed that, again, doing my research, that they'd also had a copy of Super Mario World in on the Super Nintendo. Now I've got All Stars, but the one game I haven't got is Mario World. I'm not a big Mario fan, but if I've got a small Super Nintendo collection, I've got games like Donkey Kong Country and Street Fighter 2. I want something like that to go in there as well, just to make it sort of, you've got a decent game for 2 or 3 decent games there. So I went in, and the Weston Super Mare store has a split level. So bottom level, and upstairs they've got a cafe with like retro stuff and all in cabinets and things like that. And what they used to have was all the PlayStation 2 and Xbox stuff and some DVDs up there, and then downstairs it was more current generation. Well, unbeknownst to me, since I've been there last, I've moved it all around, so it's only DVDs upstairs and it's strictly gaming downstairs. So I went upstairs to look at this Super Mario World cartridge, and it's a bit yellow. It's the wrong colour. It should be grey. Things shouldn't be that colour, and I've had issues with this particular CEX before, because they've had a lot of PlayStation 2 games which look like, basically, one of my favourite phrases, being dredged out of the canal. These have been dredged out of the canal, thrown back in the canal and dredged out again, and they've still got some of them. They're horrible. They really are. They're horrible, manky looking things. But this copy of Super Mario World, it just was not. And again, £6 was the price, but yellow in, okay, but the label had faded as well, and I'm like, can't justify that. It's not a nice example of it. £6, nice example, I'd have bought it. £6, not great example, I'm going to leave it behind. Now, cutting a long story short, we'd sort of picked a few games up downstairs. Well, I picked 3 games up, and Mrs. Bear picked up a Blu-ray. And we went upstairs with these, and the deal is, if you buy anything upstairs, the DVDs, films, whatever, you have to pay from upstairs. They keep the stock for those upstairs. Well, of course, she's walking around carrying my 3 games and a Blu-ray, and then as we're going down the stairs, the girl behind the counter shouts, "Are you going to pay for those?" And I think Mrs. Bear sort of just gesticulated, "We're going downstairs to pay for these," and she said something else, this other girl, and I sort of stuck my head up. I said, "Is there a problem?" I said, these are games from downstairs. We're going to pay for these downstairs. And they said, oh, okay. And I said, right, well, that's it. We're going now because I've had enough. Yeah, it was just a bit of a misunderstanding, but yeah, we're not going to run out with these Wii games, are we? You see the 3 games that we may potentially be trying to shoplift. You might have thought it wouldn't have been worth it. It's not worth it, Russ. Leave it. Anyway. God, yeah. For those of you who like short videos, this might be a short one. I don't know. We'll see. Right, so these 3 games came out of CEX. All games that I haven't got. One I'm happy to get, one I'm thrilled to get, and the other one I'm a bit disappointed. But let's start with the one I was thrilled to get, which is one, again, I've not seen before. I've seen the other 2 games in the series. And this is PDC World Championship Darts Pro Tour. I have 2008 and 2009. I've also got... have I still got it on the PlayStation 2? Is that where P is now? Yes, I've got PDC World Championship Darts. I used to love me darts back, my arrows back in the day. Oh, I've actually got a dartboard in my living room in a cabinet. And at one point, Mrs. Bear bought me I've still got it somewhere, a shirt with my name and obviously the bear as my nickname. I can't wear it because it doesn't fit me anymore. Don't ask me to wear it because I won't fit into it. But yeah, I used to love my arrows. Not so much since I got rid of Sky Sports years ago. But yeah, so it's got all the old, I say all the old favourites. I mean, it's not talking Eric Bristow and John Lowe here. We're talking Phil Taylor, Raven van Barneveld, Simon, Whitlock, James, Wade. Oh, it's Gary Anderson as well, I think, on the front there. But yeah, I mean, 75p, can't go wrong. Doesn't work really well. You thought something like that with the Wii remote would work brilliant, but it's not quite the same. Now, my new obsession at the moment, for those of you who've seen my recent videos, is fishing. Well, fishing on the Wii, anyway. And I've got another fishing game, which I think now takes my fishing game collection to 6. So we are going to have to do a series of videos. So this is Rapala We Fish. Now, just for those of you who look a fishing game update, we have Big Bass Catch Fishing, Rapala Fishing Frenzy, Sega Bass Fishing, Real Angling or Angler's Dream Real Fishing, Fishing Master, and now We Fish. And this was £1, and it does work with the attachment I bought a few weeks ago. No, not that attachment, the fishing attachment, that one there. There we go. So where you sort of plug your fishing reel and again, I may have mentioned this before, but thank you very much to the one person who pointed out that when I was demonstrating how to use a fishing rod, I was actually turning the reel the wrong way. I was going like that, and you need to go like that. I may mention that every video from now on, I don't know. You know who you are anyway. But yes, so Rapala We Fish, that was £1. Lovely. And we do love some fishing games in the gaming pantry. I don't like fish though. Not I don't like fish, I just don't eat fish. I don't like fish, it doesn't agree with me. And then the final game I got from CX, which I was a bit disappointed because I didn't realise there's actually a special edition of this, which may have sort of been evident to me had I actually read the back of the box which says not for resale. Because I'm guessing obviously this came as part of a set. The game in question, and I'm going to get this wrong because I know exactly what I'm going to say in a second, I have to be very, very careful. This is Transformers Dark of the Moon, not Dark Side of the Moon as I keep referring to it as. And this is the Stealth Force edition. So again, manual and stuff. And this is about the third Transformers. Now, third Transformers game I've got for the Wii, and I think I keep talking in case you think I've keeled over. 2 on the PlayStation 2 as well. But this, I've now learnt, came out with a special edition box with a toy car with it, which you can pick up on eBay for about 10 quid, I think it is. So it's not overly expensive to pick up. There's quite a few knocking around the internet, but yeah, I was a bit disappointed that I didn't realise a special edition for this one. I thought it was just called the Stealth Force edition for marketing purposes. But no, it comes with a box, so I have to try and keep an eye out for that one. So that was £2. So that was CEX. Now, the only other place I got games from, and we are on the home stretch, was a Cash Generator. And we used to, another fascinating story. We used to have a Cash Generator in my hometown, which closed down. I desperately tried to work that one out, because I think it arrived. Did it arrive just after the last recession and lasted about 12 months before they closed it down? I can't understand that. I can't understand why. Cash generators are closing down, then things must be really bad. But there isn't one near me. In fact, the only one I know of that was close by was one in Wolverhampton I went to last week. There must be one closer than Wolverhampton and Weston. There's got to be. There's got to be one somewhere. I think there is closer to home, but the place I usually go to, there isn't. And there probably should be at least one in some of those places, but there isn't. There's a couple of cash converters and some independent cash for goods places, but even when I went to Worcester, cash converters, yes, but a cash con generator variant, but no cash generator. Really weird. I thought they were a lot bigger than that. Anyway, but they have one in Weston, and yeah, they got some really nice stuff in there. Well, I say nice stuff, got a lot of things in there. They were doing 3 for 2 on the Xbox 360 stuff, which was fine, except again, a lot of it looked like it'd been thrown in a canal, pulled out again and thrown back in and then pulled out again. PlayStation 2 stuff was mankier than the stuff in CEX, which I thought was a fine achievement. And they got some PlayStation 3 stuff, and they got some PlayStation 4, Switch, whatever. Some decent systems in there for sale, decent retro section of items. So there was actually really fascinating to see. There was a special limited edition Liverpool Xbox 360, which I really wanted to justify spending £17 on, just so I could drop it from a great height and smash it into 1,000 pieces. But I thought that would just be maybe I thought I hadn't got time to do that. No, I didn't say it would be worthwhile my time. It would be perfectly worth my time. But no, anyway. So I got these 4 games. So I decided to buy these 4 pieces of tat instead. And well, look, if you're collecting something which is renowned reputation for having a load of tat attached to it, then it's going to be a load of tat. But I challenge people to play these games. You see, people often sort of, I said it before and I'll say it again, the Wii is very much maligned for the amount of crap software it had for it. Now, I look at the PlayStation 2 and I've got a lot of games for the PlayStation 2. You've seen it on one of my videos. If you look at my older videos, you'll see it's in the background and it moves over there. When I move the camera around it, you can see it. And that's got its fair share of rubbish. And there was 2,000 odd games to the PlayStation 2. The PlayStation 1's got its fair amount of drivel as well. I know, because I've got some of those up there and all amongst the 120 or so I've got. And if we go back even further, the amount of rubbish that came out for the Spectrum, the Commodore 64, the Amstrad, the ST, the Amiga, the MS-DOS games, and yeah, I can understand why people get annoyed with the Wii and say, oh yeah, kids console and a load of rubbish software. But some of these rubbish games are actually reasonably more fun. I would certainly get more fun playing some of these than I would do some of the more modern games. And you only got to look at the disaster that is WWE 2K20. Never have happened back in our day, I tell you that. Right, so yes, so Wii games. So I've got 4 from Cash Generator. Interesting mix. I'll go through them one by one. Obviously, if I just throw 6 up, you won't know what I'm talking about. So, first one up is a game I've seen many times and completely ignored. And this is Hidden Mysteries Titanic, of which I have absolutely no interest in whatsoever. I do like the cover though, because you can probably see there's the captain of the ship. And when you open it up, it should shout "Iceberg dead ahead." No, it's broken. Anyway, That's the inside, and this is really nice. I don't think anybody's actually played this. This is really sort of quite clean. The manual looks like it's been ironed. I mean, that's flat. I mean, that hasn't got. It's got very few finger marks apart from mine. The disc, I don't think it's ever been touched or played. You can probably understand it anyway. And then in this game, I think there is an option to possibly save Leonardo DiCaprio rather than watching drown. I don't know, but yeah. So that was 99p. Explore 20 levels aboard the ship, discovering hidden objects and solving challenging puzzles to unravel secret clues. Decide how your story will end. Multiple endings offer a unique experience as you discover the secrets of the Titanic. Yeah. So that was 99p well spent, I'm sure you'll agree. Another 99p well spent, and again I'm going to bring up the old canal dredging because I've had to ignore this game a few times recently because it's been in a local charity shop of mine and it's just a horrible copy. They wanted the quid for it. I wouldn't give them 9p for it. CEX want 250 for it. Luckily this cash generator was selling it at 99p. Lucky me until you see that it's called Dance Juniors. Oh yes. Dance, discover and learn. Now of course you may remember my last video with Nickelodeon Fit. So I'm guessing this is probably sort of like a version of We Dance, which was then, or maybe even Just Dance, I don't know. A couple of these knocking around. I'll just show you the back of that. There we go. Now the worrying thing is, I thought, oh, well, you look at the back here, and it's got songs. It says ABC and Celebration and Jungle Boogie. Gonna make you sweat, Surfing USA, YMCA, Bop, Kung Fu Fighting, the Macarena. So a lot of really sort of cheesy crap on here. Then there's sort of like, I think Martin's done this already, so I don't want to sort of tread on his toes, but Old MacDonald Had a Farm When the Saints Go Marching In, and Wheels on the Bus. And then you actually realise, I sort of had a look inside and I thought, well, are these the original songs? Are there more I'm missing off here? And then actually read on the back here, it says featuring over 40 crazy choreographies developed by professional choreographers, including all-time biggest pop hits recorded by kids. Ugh, it's going to be like mini pops all over again, isn't it? I'm surprised I don't get arrested buying games like this. I really don't. It's probably I think what could be described as a Savills worth up there, to be honest with you. But anyway. Oh dear me, what are the ballerina games and the Barbie games and the horse games and these ones with kids on the back of them. Anyway, 99p, £2.50 in CEX that's a win. Now, I don't have many sealed games, don't you? No. But I have now. In fact, I have 3 sealed games on the Wii. 3. Kirby's Epic Yarn, Mario Kart Wii, which I can immediately hear people screaming saying, those are the good games! Those are the ones you meant to unwrap and play. Are you listening to me? And the other one I've got is Penguins of Madagascar's U-Draw game, which is half unwrapped because the cellophane sort of split. Oh, and I've got Sesame Street, haven't I? Yeah, Sesame Street, Ready Steady Grover. Can't unwrap that, even though it's got like a furry Grover Wii remote slip. So yes, and the only other seal game I had was Marvel Ultimate Alliance, which I got for a cracking price off Amazon. I think I paid £2, including postage for it. That's when you could get cheap games off Amazon. I don't know what's happened to Amazon. It's rubbish for second-hand games. It really is rubbish for about a year or so. But before that, going back 2 years, I used to get I could get games sent to me in the post for 80p to £1.10. I mean, they might not be very exciting games, but I could pick up a load of cheap games and all, £1.20 with free postage. Fantastic. £1.50 with free postage. But you can't buy them now. Anyway, but the only thing was Marvel Ultimate Alliance, which I got off sealed, and for some reason, unbeknownst to me, I must have been suffering from a lack of porridge or something, that I decided to open the box up to see if it got the manual inside. God damn it. Yes, so every now and again I have those moments of lapses in concentration, and why the hell did I do that? Anyway, it's been a week and I haven't opened this one yet, so I thought I'd better show it before, in some fit of madness, I decided to rip it open and play it. So the Seal game I managed to pick up, which I must add I have not ever seen before in the flesh, which is Grey's Anatomy, the video game. Now, I'm a bit more of a casualty in Holby City man, to be honest with you. I can't show. I'm not going to show the inside. If there was an opportunity they wanted, I'll show the inside. Oh, yeah. There's the back of it. Now, this game is very much slagged off for how crap it is. I think you probably understand why. All the characters appear to be sort of like rotoscoped. Although it does say it's a new story written in collaboration with show writers, and I think, having read about it online, and this may have been off the official Grey's Anatomy fan website, that this actually sort of falls into a certain series in the programme. So there are some stories which fit in with that. I don't know. Question is it going to be as much fun as Trauma Centre? I seriously doubt it, because those Trauma Centre games, New Blood and Second Opinion, are flipping cool games. This one, I think it'll be more like Hysteria Hospital. What's Hysteria Hospital? You'll have to watch my upcoming Wii collection videos when I start uploading those, because I've got that somewhere. But yeah, so you can play as your favourite character. Nope. But I think is that her from Killing Eve? Is that Sandra Oh? There, possibly. I think I recognise that lady as well. But I don't recognise anybody else. Sorry if you're a big Grey's Anatomy fan, or you know what I'm talking about. So play with your favourite character and team up with the entire cast. Influence the dialogue and shape your own drama. So it's going to be very much sort of like, choose what your character says next. Which isn't really shaping it, is it? It's sort of like, pick one of these. And perform major operations in life or death situations. Well, there we go. Usually these things sort of become life and then death situations when I... when I stop that... Look, that. It's just open. Is it open in there? Look at that. You see that there? It's got the seal on it, and just opens up there. Nope, I'm going to put it away. So on to the final game this week. Wow, what a weird video this has been. I like to say I'm under medication for my chest infection, but I'm not. I'm just running on fumes, I think. This is the one game which I thought was the best one to pick up, because it was cheaper than CEX. Not much cheaper, a quid cheaper, but still cheap enough nonetheless. And not meant to be the greatest game in the world, but I thought, well, I haven't got this one. Now, I should point out that all the other Wii games that I showed you from Cash Generator, so Dance Juniors and the first one, Titanic, they've all been sellotape shut. Why do people do it? It's a Wii game. You're selling a Wii game for 99p. Why are you sealing them up? Because there's only people like me who are going to buy them. So they sealed this up, and I thought, well, I don't know, I'll pick it up anyway. Took it to the counter, paid for it, got it back to Mrs. Bear's mum's house, opened it up, and there's no manual. No manual. And it's Spider-Man 3. Oh dear. Spider-Man 3 on the Wii. Spot the deliberate mistake. It's a replacement box because that's a WWE hologram. So not only is this missing the manual, but it's in the wrong box. Also as well, the disc. I don't usually take these discs out. I'm trying to see, it doesn't show up in this light. Yeah, the disc has got a very faint white line running around the outside of it, which possibly indicates it's got a fault on it. I don't know much about those things, but as soon as I said that to Mrs. Bear, she sort of pulled a face. She pulls a face usually when I say a lot of things, but I think this was sort of like, oh, that sounds a bit dodgy. And also as well, there appears to be some sort of gunk going around the outside, which is going to require some excessive cleaning. What do people do with their disc? I thought the whole thing was scratched to pieces to start with, but you probably just see there There's like a line there. There's actually like a web design, so it's actually quite a nice looking disc. You can't see it in the light, but there is some definite gunkage going on there. So I'm really annoyed that I picked up a game in the wrong box with a dodgy disc, no manual, for £1.99. That is annoying. That is really annoying. But I haven't got it, so I haven't played it yet. But I'll see if it works or not. Is that it, Basil? It is. Sorry, I should point out I got contacted recently. Reference my friend sat in the corner here, and as a result of that, I've been told that I need to make sure that he's in every single video at some point, and that until further notice, I have to carry on making videos. It's going to be a tremendous strain on me, I've got to be honest with you, but yes, so I still have to keep turning these out, I'm afraid, and if it means I have to sort of put other things on hold in my life, such as work, then I have to do so. So it's really been quite an upsetting time recently for me. But yeah, so our old friend is in the corner. I can't call him by his full name though, because if I do that I will get sued, and have to keep all my videos public, which is a bit worrying, isn't it, really? Yeah, so apart from that, that's it for this week. Yeah, lovely little run through there, and some decent pickups. So like I said, check out your local shopping centre, because you've got some rundown shops, loads of charity shops, buildings with paint flaking off them, and a real sort of like a rough sleeping problem. Guarantee that I may one day be coming to your town. Having said that, I may go somewhere nice. Do I know anywhere nice? No. Rundown places it is for me then. Anyway, thank you very much indeed for tuning in this week and enjoying, hopefully, the pickups that I've shown you. Like I said, if you are a new subscriber and you've enjoyed what you see, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and tick that notification bell, because that will tell you when I put another video up. Hopefully more than one a week. Yeah, and that's it. Thank you very much indeed for watching. I hope you have a good week until next time. But that's it for now. That's all, folks. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Do take care. Bye for now.